So here's the next part of our discussion.
Well, it's like raising a teenager. You can't give them information until they ask the question.
Yeah, you have to answer, and not much. And you don't need a lot. You just need enough that they get the answer, right? And then you just and I think I can't stress enough, and I think you know already, is that you just have to keep saying why you had them.
Yeah.
What was that bond that you had? I'm never going to abandon you. So if you name a lot all the time what you might be preempting or expecting them to be thinking, because I think that's the key. Name it and then speak about it, and just really be curious around the kinds of things that they are, because they can have the weirdest thoughts that are not even you think, how did you come up with that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was really interesting because I thought I was adopted because of the way I was mistreated, right? My brother was loved, and I often used to say, well, I'm not my mother's child. And I even asked my mother, am I your child? Because you treat me so differently. There's such a difference. So I think it's, and she just said, and all she said was, I damn well birthed you. So therefore you're my child. This is how I know I can prove it to you. What you can do is you can say, well, I chose you, right? So in your case, Corinne, it's I chose you. You were there, we connected. And I couldn't get you out of my mind. You were my child from that very moment that I saw you. Yeah.
Rachel.
I think it's so strong to hear this word.
It is strong. Rachel, your experience, so you had 2 years in the orphanage before you were adopted.
I was adopted at 11 months. I was put into the founder of the orphanage, and I go back there and I stay at the orphanage. But it affects everything. And I mean this. Can I say something to you, Sheree, in the most utmost respect and love?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
For me, I can't take advice from people who haven't been adopted. I have because it is such a talking about. I'm not talking about advice. Much respect to you for being a therapist and things like that. But much respect to you. What I'm saying is, for me to relate to somebody, because we do walk a very different path. It's not a matter of I like vanilla chocolate versus vanilla or chocolate ice cream, right? But for me, so when I go into a bookstore and I read a ton of adoption books and I've studied it in depth, I look at the back of the book, I'm like, was this person adopted? No, next book, thank you very much. Because until you walk through our steps, through our path, and nobody's two journeys are the same. I can't immediately, I'm like, you studied it. You haven't dealt with it. Those emotions. And so I know for me, when I've worked, those are the people I'm going to open up to. Those are the people I'm going to talk to. Those are the people I'm going to have the conversations with, because they're going to understand more. They're going to understand more, and to have that community, it's crucial. So anything you need, Karina, please reach out 24/7.
Thank you, Rachel. That's very kind.
I go to London, and I will actually be there working there in May. Are you guys all in London?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we're gonna John, I was in and out for 24 hours in a couple weeks ago, but I will be back there for longer in May. So if you guys want to get together,
that would be lovely.
And I hope, Shireen, you understood what I was saying. It's just
absolutely.
I can't, because people, before you came on, we were talking about how people speak for us, how people put emotions onto us, how people add things or they speak on our behalf, and we go, oh, that's not what I meant at all. Or when people put that pressure on us.
But I think and I think what we're going to realize is that a lot of mothers have not been adopted that are going to adopt babies that they're adopting. You know what I mean? So it's going to be people that haven't been adopted that are going to have adopted babies. So that's, so in a sense, they don't know how it's going to feel for their child, which is what you're kind of saying, really. They're not going to have that experience. Yeah. So it's a really important point that you've brought up. And
community together, there's all the
come back for the next part of this discussion.